I'm Andrea Schrader from the Creative Dream Incubator, and this is the Creative Dream Incubator Pop-Up Podcast. So we're popping up. I'm going to put out a new episode every day until this first season's done. This season is creative dreaming versus the end of the world. So basically, I wanted to do just this series of videos, one right after another, coming out with exploring different aspects of this, because this is really what sensitive, creative dreaming people are dealing with right now. Right? I've been really looking at this for the last 3 years or so, like actively exploring it and being with the questions without having answers. And so what I wanted to share here is some thoughts and ideas and maybe some processes for working through some of all of this. I'm not pretending that I have the answers, and nobody has your answers anyway, right? We're all in new territory here, and I think it's always best that everyone listen to their own inner wisdom about how to proceed. It's just that when there's so much chaos and upheaval in the world, it's hard to be able to hear your inner wisdom. So that's a big part of what we're going to do in this pop-up podcast for creative dreaming versus the end of the world. So for our first episode, I wanted to talk about this overall feeling that I'm seeing in the creative community, which is along the lines of, do I even deserve to pursue my dreams wholeheartedly when there's so much devastation in the world? And this is what I personally have been feeling for the last 3 years or so. I've been really looking deeply at it and looking at my own privilege, looking at why have I been able to achieve dreams that other people can't even dream of, looking at the injustices in the world and looking at my place in all of that. And so there's a lot of things about the life coaching world that are pretty sleazy, and I've talked about that quite openly over the years. And I've been looking deeper at, so where does this plug in with some of the destructive patterns that we have running in the world, and how sometimes the life coaching world, the new age world, the spiritual but not religious world, sometimes we plug into some of those really destructive patterns without seeing it, because we are running on our unconscious biases. And I don't have answers to any of that, but I just wanted to say, sitting with the questions in itself is very valid, and that's how we become clearer, and that's how we become more able to actually move through in a more powerful way. Your dream, like on a personal, individual level, your dream is your soul calling you towards your true self. So your dream is like how you would live as your most authentic and vibrant and free self. So if you didn't have the constraints of whatever limiting beliefs that you picked up, or the oppressive nature of our society, or any of that, if you didn't have that, if you were just born in a way that you were completely nurtured and supported in every way, and so you're able to actualize all of your gifts and then do exactly what you want to do with your life, that's kind of what your dream is calling you towards. Like, that's why your dream is your dream. That's why you want it. That's why it feels kind of magical and sparkly, like it has that pull to it, because it's your truth. Only truth has that kind of pull to it. So if you're asking the question right now, do I even deserve to pursue my dreams in light of everything that's happening in the world? Some good things to do are, first looking at, well, what is the nature of your dream, and what does it accomplish when you have your dream? So are you really only in it for you? Because sometimes, when I say that your dream is your soul calling you towards your truth, that's the deepest dream that you have in you. We're not always connecting with those deep dreams, right? If you're working solely from your ego or your logical mind or conscious self, your dreams may be more superficial, and maybe you're being called towards something deeper, something more meaningful, and something which will be more helpful to the world. And then there's also sometimes, if you're wondering that, do I even deserve to pursue my dreams? That could be your own fear or inner critic speaking to you. And so maybe 10 years ago, when the world felt more stable, maybe you were getting a different message about, maybe I'm not ready to pursue my dreams. Maybe I'm not good enough to pursue my dreams. So there's that inner critic part of you will grab onto anything anything at all, any story I can find that has some juice to it to convince you now is not the time to pursue your dream. So if you've been asking yourself the question, do I even deserve to pursue my dreams when the world is in the state that it's in? I'd like you to actually spend some time with it. Like, write that question down on a fresh page in your journal. Give yourself that whole page to really explore it. And when I say explore it, I mean, like, you don't have to come up with an answer. Explore your reaction to it. So explore every feeling that comes up in you while you're watching me talk about this video and while you're thinking about the question on your own. Explore what memories it sparks for you. Just keep looking at, okay, what's really happening here? How am I really feeling about this? And you can also start to explore, so what would the world have to look like before I would deserve to pursue my dreams? What has to happen before it's okay for me to go after what I want? That's another good one. So it's like you want to keep rooting around in your own unconscious or subconscious self. Like, what is the part of me that's feeling this way? And what's going on with this part of me? And what does it need? So I would never advocate, let's just stick our heads in the sand about everything that's happening in the world and go, la, 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 I'm going to pursue my dream. Absolutely not. But on the other end of that spectrum is, let's abandon everything that feels meaningful and joyful to me and go and try to save the world, right? So neither of these extremes are really a healthier approach unless that's what feels super true to you. So generally, most of us are going to be somewhere on that spectrum. And the more deeply you can look at what's going on with you right now and how you're feeling about everything, the more you're going to be able to figure out where exactly you want to be on that spectrum. So we're going to keep exploring this. This is just episode 1, and today we're just looking at the question of if you're feeling, do I even deserve to go after my dreams when there's so much upheaval in the world? We are going to explore some different questions as well. So to cap off our first episode here, I picked a journaling card. These are the journal cards for dreamers, which you can get on my website. And they have prompts just for digging a little deeper into the dream work and the inner work that needs to happen in order to align your outer life with your inner truth. And so the card I got is perfect. It is, how can you offer love to your fear? So if you're feeling this way about, do I even deserve to pursue my dreams with so much happening in the world? Can you just send some love to that part of you? You don't have to answer it and saying, yes, you deserve it. Oh my God, pretend nothing's happening and run out there and make your dream happen. You don't have to do that. But you can offer love to this part of you who is clearly hurting. So I'd like you to try to do that at some point today. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for the next episode in the pop-up podcast on creative dreaming versus the end of the world.